Hey everyone, wanted to do a review of Tony Robbins' Ultimate Mastery Package to kind of share with you my takeaways and what I got from the whole experience. So for context, for those of you who don't know, Tony Robbins is one of the most famous, probably the most famous self-development people out there. He has a documentary on Netflix called "I'm Not Your Guru," which is a documentary on the event Date with Destiny. So I'll share with you how I got started with Tony Robbins and the impact and the change it's made personally in my life. So the first event I went to was called Unleash the Power Within, which is a virtual event, and that was sort of like his like gateway drug, as you can call it. It's a really good time. It's his biggest event. There's over 10,000 people that attend typically, and a lot of energy. You learn like it's all about the mindset. So he goes through like it's interesting. A lot of his events, there's some element of movement. So you're doing a lot of dancing. You're meeting a lot of cool people in the virtual environment. We had different like groups. They're essentially different teams, right? So you do when you're in that group. There's different trainers. There's different levels of trainers depending on how much training they've received, and they're sort of like the facilitator, and they kind of help you if you have any questions with some of the frameworks and some of the exercises that you go through. And so Unleash the Power from Within is, I would say, it's like his entry level one. And so if you're interested, he sells like upgrades. Like he'll have different people share breakthroughs they've received from some of the other courses. So I bought the Ultimate Mastery package, which essentially contained Date with Destiny, Business Mastery, Life Mastery, Wealth Mastery. Both of those are in Fiji, but everything else is virtual. And you also get a coach. Um, so you have like a small mastermind group with like a Tony Robbins certified coach, and then you get another one for your business mastery, and then one that's for like personal mastery. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed both of my coaches, and then the mastermind was really nice as well. So you get coaching calls, like mastermind groups, where you'll meet, and then you'll be able to go through like some of the breakthroughs that you've had, and just have like a consistency. It was awesome because during the pandemic, I would say I was kind of, I would say a lot of things changed. So I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was definitely like going through a lot of blues, and having that group definitely helped me instead of uh, helped me just have a much more positive mindset during those tough times. Being an extrovert and then having my world flipped around essentially, and working remotely for as long as I did. So the next event, so I did the two masterminds after that, and then um, I took a little bit of a break because you need to like accumulate I did the payment plan, so once you reach like a certain amount, um, like let's say you paid out like 6,000 or whatever, right? Then you qualify for like the next event, so Date with Destiny, and then once you reach like 8,000 or whatever, you qualify for the next event, which is Business Mastery. So you can choose depending on how much you've paid off. So I did the monthly plan, and then the last two events I did. So it actually took me close to, I would say, over a year and a half to pay off all that, so that I could do the whole Ultimate Mastery package. It's definitely not the cheapest investment I've made, but definitely was well worth it. I mean, Date with Destiny alone, I think was worth like the whole $16,000. Um, that event was really eye opening for me. Um, Luckily, I had a job that was somewhat flexible, right? So I had unlimited PTO, so I have been able to take off more days, to just make sure that you have a job that's flexible, or you save off block off enough vacation days to do all of this, right? Because if you do all these events in one year, then you just have to be mindful of your vacation days. That's all. So in Date with Destiny, you go through this exercise called where you find out your mission statement. So I wrote the purpose of my life is to be abundant, enjoy the present moment, do good for myself and others. So it is pretty helpful, right, to have your own mission statement because then you know what you're about, like your 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 north star, right, what you're aiming for. And then he goes through an exercise called um, your your towards values and rules. So I was able to find out that these are my goals, right? This is like my values, like what I'm my rule for life, right? Like what would make me happy. So I found out that mine is abundance, connection, generosity, prosperity, gratitude, wealth, adventure, family, grace, mission, growth, compassion, and cheer. So you'll stack rank them, and you'll spend a lot of time working through this, right? So you'll get support if you need help with all that, and then you write like conditions of satisfaction, right? Like how do I know that I'm living towards those? So I wrote, anytime my wife and I are giggling, laughing, anytime I or anyone I know is smiling, anytime I write or receive a positive note, anytime I see someone fully, anytime I'm journaling and I'm in touch of being present and presence, anytime I'm listening fully, anytime I'm reflecting, anytime there's love present, anytime I eat delicious food, anytime present to our beautiful home, anytime we show each other unconditional love, space to relax. So you'll go in depth with all of these, right? So you'll really, each of the days, you'll go much deeper into some of the topics. And then he'll have guest speakers as well. And it's just really inspiring, and the energy's good. You're dancing the whole time. I even have a rebounder behind me, which is like a trampoline, because he talks a lot about like the science of like the lymphatic systems. So Tony is a nerd when it comes to like maximum productivity and being able to operate at your most optimal state. So he'll talk a lot about that. You also go through your top 4 1 year goals, and then your new primary question as well, which is how can I fully appreciate the peace in this moment? And then he'll go through the away values and rules, right? So it's things, because when you know what you don't want, that's helpful as well, right? So and then your relationship vision, which is really important, right? Many of us have a relationship, but we don't really take the time to really think about and put in writing very concise, like what we want. um, so that was really cool. And the next event is called Business Mastery, which is very in depth into like the game of business, right? Like how do I create my own business? How can I have a business mindset? Even though I work for a publicly traded company, I'm an entrepreneur, right? And then in the sense of like as a salesperson, you have to have pretty entrepreneurial mindset, have business acumen, understand the finances and the numbers and everything like that. So he has some really cool guest speakers, and Tony is a very successful business person, so obviously such an incredible mentor. So when you go through that, I feel like he does a really good job of just helping you think like a business owner. And he always says instead of being and like in the business, you you're being more of an operator, right? So instead of like doing everything, you're teaching people how to fish. You're delegating, so you're not burning out. And then lastly, the last two events, which was amazing, was is called Life and Wealth Mastery. And so I did that in July of this year, from July 6th to the July 12th. So that was pretty crazy. It was 4 days of wealth mastery and then 3 days of life mastery. And you learn a lot about yourself. You'll do a cleanse, you'll do like a juice cleanse, and then you'll rate yourself financially in all these different frameworks that he goes over. So, yeah, that's my review of the Ultimate Mastery. Let me know if you have any questions, post it in the chat, and I'll be sure to do more videos about everything because I think it is useful to. And I did create videos on my review of each of those programs. So if you search it through my YouTube channel, you'll be able to find it, and I can also link to it as well. But cheers! I hope everyone has an amazing day.